15th of May 2022. This is a general review. So let's start off with the right charts. Let's start off with the NASDAQ. This computer's really slow tonight. Yeah, obvious downtrend there. So let's. The first thing on my notes here is the number of stocks trading above the 200-day moving average completely crashed this week. So it actually gave me a generational buy signal, which was when the number of stocks went below 15% and then pushed back above that again. So normally that would give me a like I say, generational buy 2020, 2018, 2016, 2011, 2009 type buy signal. Not entirely convinced by that, which we'll come to in a moment, but nonetheless, that's given me a signal. Also, we started a new follow-through day count here, which is the 12th last week. Okay, so next thing on the list here for the NASDAQ is there any leadership? Well, no, not really. So in addition to having indicators start to pop off, I need to see leadership, so something to buy. So I'm not seeing it on the NASDAQ. Yeah, everything's just so heavily just sold off. Relative strength is really weak. So I'm not really sort of seeing much there. So even if we, okay, let's just go straight to the FANG stocks, and I'm including Tesla and FANG. Yeah, that sort of hit a new low this week. So I mean, arguably that's really in stage 4. Maybe this will be some sort of undercut and rally here, but yeah, the relative strength has been sort of just winding off here, as other sectors, especially outside of the NASDAQ, have done pretty well. So, and this sort of goes ditto for Apple as well. That looks like sort of gone into stage 4 for me. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything particularly viable on the NASDAQ. Saying that, we're extremely oversold. Like, we're well away from the 50-day moving average, well away from the 200-day moving average. RSI, there's divergence on the RSI on the daily time frame. Bullish divergence. So number of stocks trading below the 50 days also extremely low at 14%. So yeah, I think this is sort of screaming short-term bounce, and God knows, but maybe this will be the bottom, and we'll sort of reset from here. But I'm not, like I say, because some of the charts are set up, there's no leadership there. As much as I badly want to tell you the truth, I buy the Googles and stuff like that. So anyway, that's the NASDAQ. S&P 500. Similar comment again, sort of very oversold, sort of stretched sort of away from the moving day averages. So like capitulation type selling, or sort of almost VBR in reverse. So yeah, almost at 20% off all-time highs now. So yeah, so similar sort of thoughts to the NASDAQ. However, there are sectors within the S&P that are actually holding up much better. So energy and gas, for example, there's sort of sectors within here that I think is probably where I just need to stay focused on to play sort of rebounds here. That's mostly it for the S&P. I made a comment in a few videos ago that I can't remember, it was somewhere around here, and I made the comment that I'd be surprised if it sort of just ends in this time or drop. So that was especially given like the huge run that it's had, given the worsening sort of macro environment, and that's sort of played off. Pretty good reversal, like upside reversal there on the weekly for the S&P 500. So yeah, I don't know. but yeah, it'd be interesting to see this week. So we've got day one of a follow through day, which is again the 12th. So we're looking for a follow through on the day 4 onwards, there to get a confirmed signal that this rally's got some legs. So yeah, we'll wait and see there. Okay, in my general, I've got a list of sort of general things I like to work through. This is chart here is the inverse of the 20 years. So yeah, very clear stage 2 here. Another charting software I use has got the RSI, and that's actually showing to me that this is probably looking more like a blow off than anything. So what that means is potentially sort of more of a short-term top is in play here. I've got no idea if it sort of pulls back, keeps going. It does look like, consider just the magnitude of the move here compared to previous moves. You know, this thing's just off the Richter. So it's probably, yeah, it's why it's showing it's got like it's overbought here. So anyway, that's one indicator, and so that's sort of telling me if you get sort of this, you know, more of a pullback here, shares will probably rebound to some extent. Sort of just started collecting other sort of bits of charts and information here and there. So I want to see margin loan debt coming down, which is good. It's coming down in a serious way. Crypto stage 4, that's pretty obvious now. Luna has blown up. Bitcoin is in definitely a sort of stage 4. Are breakouts working? No, not really. I found this out with ExxonMobil. I was in this trade, made a video, so noted here that there's a breakout, maybe it could hold. Of course it didn't. I ended up selling it here. It's only at 6% or so return, so I've got no positions on now. Yeah, it's just so hard at the moment. So sort of, I won't digress too much to this one particular stock, but it's sort of almost a double top, I think, here. But maybe we'll just continue to move on here. Anyway, I took that one off just to lock in again. Okay, VIX 29, that's been coming down, so that's good. Is the Federal Reserve put activated? No. The Federal Reserve is still tightening. And the CPC, the put call ratio, has come down from about 1.3 to 0.99. So some of the fear has sort of come out, along with the VIX. You can see some of the fear has come out. So yeah, comments overall, it's kind of interesting. There's a few conflicting things, but what I am seeing, if we've got the Treasury yields peaking short term, due for a pullback, and also VIX and put call sort of just coming back a bit, and given the very oversold conditions in the overall, say S&P and Nasdaq, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of bounce here. But yeah, so not to labour the point too much. Just what you're actually going to do with that is another question, in terms of looking for leadership to buy. So speaking of which, I ran a scan on the Market Smith, looking at the top 25 industries, just looking to say, okay, well, if we get where are my new trades going to come through, especially if this rally sort of, you know, might hold a bit. Yeah, it's pretty thin on the ground. So energy, coal is the number one sector, but you know it's definitely in stage 2, but it's looking a bit exhausted. A lot of the oil and gas are sort of stage 2, but some of them are looking a little bit tired as well. Like, sort of broke under the 50 and sort of sitting under there. So maybe we just need to see a bit more strength here. What else? Oil, gas, all sorts of different sectors in oil and gas. And then, well, that's really it. So things like utilities, I thought were going to go, but they've gone back into stage 1. Same with tobacco, same with insurance. Yeah, so ag, chemicals, that's a leading sector, but it looks pretty weak to me. Just show that quickly. Sort of pulled back to the 50 and hasn't held it, and now it's it doesn't, just no man's land now. So potentially this was a bit of a blow off top type week here, and now it sort of just needs to reset. So yeah, I've got no idea what's going to happen there. So just looking here, that was a pretty good breakout around here, wasn't it? So that'd have been a cracker, getting our stocks within there. So yeah, the overall summary is very oversold conditions. Yeah, of course it could just keep dropping. Few indicators saying that we might get some sort of a rally, or more of a rally, or more accurately say, I'm going to need to be very selective though, and not just buy something just because it's beaten up. Just to stick to those stronger sectors with the highest relative strength, which unfortunately is not tech. It's these sort of other areas. But yeah, that's the area that I'll be focusing on.